Absolutely. Hello, everybody. How's everyone doing? Good? Who's excited for Halloween? Raise your hand. Oh, my goodness. Everyone's so excited for Halloween. Okay, put your hands down. Raise your hand if you like science. Raise your hand. Awesome. All of us love science. So allow me to introduce myself. My name is Brandon, and I am a science hero. Now, what is a science hero? A science hero is somebody who tells really, really cool stories, does very, very cool science experiments, and teaches people how to do those science experiments. Are we ready for some fun science today? Perfect. So before we get started with the show, there are a few rules that I have to tell you guys. Is that okay with you? Perfect. So, rule number one, during the show, there will be times for you guys to call out and other times for you guys to listen. So, if I point to you guys like this with both of my arms out pointing towards you, that is time for you guys to call out. And if I go like this with my ears, that's time for us to listen. Does everyone got that? Perfect. Let's try that out. When I point to you like this, I want you guys to call out, and when I go like this, I want you guys to go listen. Can we try that? So if I put you like this, it's time to call out. And if I go like this with my ears, it is time to listen. Very good. That is rule number one. Rule number two, we all need to stay in our spots at all times. Can we all do that? Okay, so rule number two, we're all going to stay right in our spots or seats. Very good. And rule number three. Rule number three is my favorite rule of all. Some of you guys are actually going to be able to help me do some of these science experiments today. Does that sound fun? But in order to do that, I need a volunteer. Who wants to help me do some science experiments? All right, put our hands down, put our hands down. I'm going to show you guys how to get picked on to be a volunteer for these science experiments. So, if you are sitting on the floor, you are going to sit crisscross applesauce. Go ahead and sit crisscross applesauce. If you are sitting in a chair, you are going to sit with your back super straight up, just like a giant pencil. Very good, very good. The next thing that everyone is going to do is you are going to shoot your arm all the way up into the sky as high as you can. Really try to stretch and touch the ceiling. You are going to give your fingers a big wiggle just like this. Everyone go like this. Go wiggle, 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 wiggle. All right. We are going to give our hand a nice big wave as we wiggle. Very good, very good. Now, the very last thing I need you to do if you want to get called on to be a volunteer for a science experiment is instead of raising your hand and going, me, please pick me. Please pick me. It's my birthday tomorrow. I don't need any of that. What I need from you guys is to raise your hand, wiggle your fingers, wave your hands in the air, and go like this. You are going to hum. Everybody go like this. Hum. So we are going to try it out. On the count of three, whoever wants to be a volunteer, I need you to raise your hand, wiggle your fingers, wave your hand, and hum. Are we ready to try it out? All right, ready? I need a volunteer. 3, 2, 1. Hum. You on up. You're going to be my first volunteer. I need one more volunteer. Get those hands nice and high. Hum. Raise them up even higher. Go hum. Hum as loud as you can. Hum. You come on up. All right, come on up. Guys, come on up. Come on up. What is your name? Theo, how old are you, Theo? 9, give me a high five, Theo. 10, give me a high five. And what is your name? Leonge, and how old are you? 5? 5.5. Okay, give me a big high five. So we have our 2 volunteers for our very first experiment. But before we do any sort of science experiment, the first thing we are always going to do is put on a pair of safety goggles. Can you guys say that with me? Safety? Very good. So both of my volunteers, go ahead and pick out a pair of safety goggles from the table. All right, go ahead and put those right over your eyes. Perfect. We got red, we got blue. Awesome. Both of you guys come on over to this side of the table for me and just stand right there. I will need both of your guys' help in just a few seconds. So today's show is all about one thing. Raise your hand if you have ever heard of dry ice before. Raise your hand. Okay, some of us have it and some of us haven't. Well, dry ice is one of the coldest things in the entire world. Raise your hand if you like ice cream. Raise your hand. Raise your hand if you like snow cones. Raise your hand. Now, what if I told you that dry ice was colder than ice cream or snow cones combined? That would be crazy, right? But dry ice is so cold, it is 109 degrees below zero. And right in this cooler right over here, I have a bunch of dry... I'll try this one more time. I have a bunch of dry... That is very heavy. Both of my volunteers, I think I need your help. Come on over, come on over. Everyone grab part of the cooler and we're going to lift together on 3. Ready? 1, 2, 3. It's so heavy. What are you doing? Why'd you let go? It's so heavy. It's so heavy. It's so heavy. Put it down. It's not heavy. It's not heavy. Remind me not to mess with Theo. I think he's super, super strong, and that's why it wasn't heavy for him. So now that we have our giant cooler over here, let me show you guys what dry ice looks like. Dry ice looks like regular pellets of ice, but do you guys see that little bit of smoke that's coming off of the ice? So that is actually dry ice melting. Dry ice does not melt like normal ice. It does something called sublimate, which means instead of turning ice from a solid to a liquid like normal, right? During the summer, if we have ice and it's too hot outside, the ice will melt. Dry ice does not melt normally. It turns from a solid into a gas. But as I said before, dry ice is very, very dangerous. That is why I have these special gloves. So if a piece of dry ice were to fall off of the table and onto the floor, nobody else touched the dry ice. Only I touched the dry ice. We got that? Perfect. So we are going to do a few experiments to start the show. One of which I have this water balloon. Now, we can't buy it. I need it for the experiment. So, what we are going to do with this water balloon, we are going to keep it in our cooler of dry ice for a giant chunk of the show, and we are going to check back in with our water balloon and see if anything changes, and possibly if it goes from being water inside to solid ice. So we are going to leave that in there, but now onto the fun stuff that dry ice can do. For this, I'm going to need your help. What I want you to do is hold on to this beaker nice and tight on the floor with both hands. Perfect. Now, when dry ice is exposed to water, that sublimation process starts to speed up just a little bit. So we're going to take one piece of dry ice, 2, 3, and 4, and whoa! Do you guys see that? Do you see all of the smoke that's coming out? Now, you guys think we can make this just a little bit bigger? So there's only one way to do that. You are going to help us out next. Come on over. So you don't want... It's totally fine. Can I have it, please? Thank you very much. So dry ice is actually perfect to touch when it is in this gas form. You can pour it right on to your arm. You can pour it onto your head. You can even pour it onto your eyeball. So we are going to try to make this a little bit bigger. So Theo, you're going to help us out next. Come on over. What I want you to do is hold on to the sides toward the bottom. Now, this time, I'm going to take this scooper that I have right here and do one small scoop of dry ice. So this way, we have more than a couple of pieces. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to dump all of it right in, and whoa! Do you guys see how fast it's starting to pour out? Very, very cool. And as I said before, it is so safe that you can even pour it right onto someone's head. Pretty cool, right? Guys, thank you so much. You both did a great job. Give me 2 big high fives, 2 big high fives. Guys, put your glasses back on the table. Head on back to your seats. Everybody give our volunteers a nice big round of applause. All right, we are always going to clean up our science once we do a science experiment. So, as I said before, a science hero also tells really cool stories. And with it being Halloween, do you guys want to hear a spooky story? All right, so once upon a time, there was a family and they wanted to go camping for the fall. Who here has ever been camping before? Raise your hand. Awesome, a bunch of us have before. That's so cool. So they packed up all their stuff and they went right into the woods. They set up all their tents, and then there were two little kids in this family. Their names were Omar and Carly. Omar and Carly wanted to go out and explore the woods. So they went out and started walking through the woods, seeing all of the beautiful trees, all the beautiful leaves, and even a very soothing river that they walked by. But before they know it, it started to get very, very dark outside, and it got very, very cold. Everybody go like this. Go ahead and give yourself a hug and go brrr. It's even colder. Go brrr. It's the coldest it's ever been. Everyone go brrr. So as they started to walk through the very, very cold forest, they started to see a thick layer of fog all over the floor, just like the smoke coming out of our beaker right here. The forest was covered in a thin layer of this all over the ground. And as they start to walk and explore the rest of this strange fog, as it was so cold, they stumbled upon a very scary noise. They started to hear somebody laughing evilly. They heard the laugh of an evil witch. Can everyone here do an evil witch laugh? Let me hear an evil witch laugh. All right, we have a bunch of different type of laughs right now. We're all going to do the same laugh. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to put our hands together just like this. We are then going to play with them just a little bit, back and forth, back and forth. And now everybody make the meanest face you can. Make the meanest face you can. And everyone go, nya, 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 nya. Oh, that was a very, very creepy sound from all of you guys. Whoa, that scared me. So they start to hear that noise and they start to slowly walk towards the noise, and the laughing started to get louder. Everybody, laugh very quietly. Put your hands together, play with them back and forth, and go, nya, 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 nya. And then the laughing started to get louder. Make it just a little bit louder. Nya, 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 nya. And then the laughing got as big. You get me? And there she was, standing on top of a giant bark tree with her hat on her head, with a giant broom to her side, and laughing her evil laugh. Let me hear it one more time. And then, before you know it, she took off on her broom and went straight up into the sky. I need a volunteer. You come on up. I need one more volunteer. You come on up. Come on up, guys. Come on up. Come on up. All right, we are going to put this over here for now. And what is your name? Joseph. Joseph, how old are you, Joseph? 7. Give me a big high five, Joseph. And what is your name? Kayla, how old are you, Kayla? 9, give me a high five, Kayla. So, Joseph and Kayla are going to help us out with our next experiment. But before we do anything, we need to put on a pair of safety. So, go ahead and pick out a pair of safety goggles from the table. Any color that you like. Perfect. All right, we got black, we got green. Awesome. And I'm going to have you guys come on over to this side of the table. Now, for this, we are going to need a few things. We are, of course, going to need our safety gloves. Very good. We are, of course, going to need our dry. And we are going to need one more thing. This thing is one of the oldest pieces of science equipment I could get my hands on. It has not been seen in 15, 20, maybe even 30 years. Raise your hand if you have ever heard of a film canister. Yep, I clocked that a lot. So, if you haven't heard of a film canister, today, after the show, what you are going to do, you are going to go to your parent or guardian, whoever brought you to the show, and you're going to go, what is a film canister? And they're going to be very, very sad that you have never heard of a film canister. So, a film canister is a small cylinder that is used to store things like film. What we are going to do, you're going to help us out first, Joseph. We are going to take a pitcher of water. Come on over. Go ahead and grab onto it from the bottom. Very good. And we're going to slowly pour some of our water into our film canister. Very good. Now go ahead and stand right over there next to, what was your name again? Kayla. I knew that. I just was making sure you knew your name. Now, saw before, when we drop dry ice into water, it starts to get all smoky everywhere. But what we are going to do this time is we are going to drop a piece of dry ice into our canister. We are then going to trap all of that gas inside of our film canister, and we are going to wait. And maybe something strange will happen. Something different. Whoa! Did you guys see that? It shot up right into the sky, just like the witch in our story. Now, why did it shoot up into the sky? Let me explain. Now, who here has ever heard of something called carbon dioxide? Raise your hand. A bunch of us have. Carbon dioxide is also called CO2. Very good. Now, carbon dioxide, or CO2, when it's in its gas form, it wants to spread as far and as wide as it can. But if you trap carbon dioxide into a small space like this, it starts to build pressure. And it builds and it builds and it builds until, boom, there is a big explosion. Do you guys want to see that one more time? Okay, we are going to get a brand new film canister. All right, if I can pick it up with these giant gloves, perfect. All right, Kayla, come on over. You're going to help us out next. Go ahead and hold on to our pitcher. Very good. All right, now just a little bit of water. I will tell you when. Keep going, and good. Perfect. All right, we're even going to put just a little bit back in there. Perfect. Go ahead and stand right over to Joseph. All right, now, this time I'm going to take our piece of dry ice that is a little bit smaller, about that size or so, and we are going to count down. Once I put the cap on, we are going to count down to see how long it takes to explode. Are you guys ready? All right, so I have my piece of dry ice. I'm going to drop it right in, and I'm going to put the cap on, and 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ah! Ah! Oh, that was very, where'd it go? Where'd it go? Did it go over here? Oh, it went over here. I don't see it over here. Where'd it go? Oh, it's right over there. I didn't even see. Thank you very much. Guys, did such a good job. Give me 2 big high fives. Go ahead, put your glasses back on the table. Head back to your seats. Everybody give our volunteers a big round of applause. All right, now coming back to our story, both Omar and Carly start to run away from the evil laughing witch. Let me hear that evil laugh one more time. That is a very, very scary laugh. I think we're done with the witch. So the witch flies off out of nowhere. So Omar and Carly are now trying to find their way back to their campsite. So they're still sneaking through the woods, trying to not be seen by anything, while the thin layer of fog covers the ground that they're on. And then all of a sudden, from out into the distance, they hear another spooky, scary noise. They heard the sound of a giant werewolf, so they needed to be very, very careful. So they started to walk toward the sound of the giant werewolf. Hopefully, it was a friendly werewolf. So they started to get closer and closer, and it started out as a small werewolf. Everyone, make the smallest wolf sound you can. Ow! And then the noise started to get bigger. Everyone go a little bit bigger. Ow! And then before you know it, they turned around and the werewolf was right behind them. Make the biggest werewolf sound you can. Ow! And they screamed and they started running away so fast that there was a trail of smoke left behind them with how fast they ran. I need a volunteer. You come on up. You come on up. I need another volunteer. You come on up. You come on up. You come on up. You come on up. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right. Everybody, go ahead and grab a pair of safety goggles. All right. Any color that you like. Any color that you like. Go ahead and grab. All right. There's one more pair right over there. Perfect. And now, what we are going to do for this next experiment, I'm going to need everybody to line up right behind my friend right over here. All right, we're going to form one straight line going that way. Perfect. My friend, you are going to stay at the front of the line. What is your name? Aiden. Give me a high five, Aiden. Aiden's going to be our line leader for this. All of you, stay in this line. Go ahead and face our audience. And everyone give a nice big wave. Hello, audience. Very good. So, for this experiment, we need a few things. We, of course, need our safety. We need our dry. And we need one more thing for this experiment. Aiden, I will need your help. Go ahead and reach into this bag, and I want you to pick one balloon. Perfect. If I may have the balloon piece, thank you very much. We are going to use this purple balloon right here. But we will come back to that balloon a little bit later. So, for this experiment, we are also going to use this funny looking beaker right here. Does everyone see how this beaker is different from the beaker we used earlier? Does everyone see this extra little piece that's right here? That is called the mouth of the beaker. There is the opening that is right on top that we can pour liquid in and out of, and this little part right here that we can also pour in and out of. So to start our experiment, I am going to, as we've done before, drop a few pieces of dry ice into our flask, into our beaker. Perfect. And now I will take off our safety gloves because does everybody see how everybody, it is time for us to listen. So it's very, very important when it's time for us to listen. The only voice we hear is my big booming voice. Everyone got that? And it's also very important that for my friends sitting on the floor, we stay inside of the red lines, okay? Perfect. So for this experiment, everybody see how the smoke is pouring out from the top and the side of our flask. So what happens if we cover up one of those holes where everything is starting to come out? Whoa. Does everyone see that? All the smoke is shooting right out, just like the giant line of smoke that Omar and Carly left when they ran away from the giant wolf. And it is so good that you can even feel it on your hand, and you can even taste it. Do you guys want to feel or taste it? Go ahead and stick out your hand. You can feel it. It's very cold. You feel how cold it is, right? All right, I'm going to come down the line so everybody can feel it. Now, is there anyone who wants to taste it? 1, 2, 3. Okay, go ahead and open. It tastes funny, right? It's funny. I wouldn't recommend this. Now, I'm going to come around so everybody can get a closer look. So, as you guys can see, our smoke is starting to shoot out the other hole that is right here. But what happens if we were to cover that hole too now? Watch what happens when I press my finger down on the small mouth of the beaker. Does everyone see the balloon? What's happening to the balloon? It's getting bigger. And oh my goodness, it's getting bigger. And it's getting bigger. It's getting bigger. And it's getting bigger. I don't know if I can take anymore. Okay. Whew. All right, we gotta get the. Oh, that was a close one. The balloon almost popped. We couldn't have it pop. Guys, science is a very, very serious thing. Where'd it go? Oh, it's over here? Okay. I'm gonna need that back, please. I'm gonna need that back. What? It's over here? All right, ma'am, I know it's tempting, but I'm gonna need the balloon. Oh! Oh, it's right over here. Why didn't you guys say so? I'm going to need that balloon, buddy. Thank you very much. Aiden, since you picked out the balloon, you get to keep the balloon. All my friends, thank you so much for your help. Go ahead and put your glasses back on the table. Head back to your seat. Everybody give our volunteers a nice big round of applause. All right, go ahead and put your glasses back on the table. Head back to your seats. Very good, very good. Now, Aiden, you could go back to your seat right over there. Everybody, one more round of applause for our volunteers. All right, everybody, it is time to listen. So, going back to the story, Omar and Carl escaped from the giant werewolf. Everybody, can I hear our werewolf noise one more time? Ow! Very, very spooky indeed. But they still need to try to find their way back to their camp. So they start to explore through. Everybody, it's time for us to listen. Right here, my friends. When it's time for us to listen, we can't talk, okay? Thank you very much. So they started to go through the entire forest, trying to find their way back home. And eventually, the fog started to disappear. But the fog disappeared, but something else came in its place. Everyone, I want you to make this sound. Go sss. And everyone make this sound with me. Go blah, 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 blah. Now, this side of the room, I want you to make that hissing noise. Everybody on this side of the room, go sss. And keep going, keep going, keep going. Everybody on this side of the room, we're going to make that bubbly noise. Go blah, 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 blah. Let's louder, louder, louder. Sss. More bubbles, more bubbles. Blah, 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 blah. And stop. Now, the fog was gone, but what remained was something very, very different. They were round. There were small, tiny little clouds inside. And every time they step on them, they would start to pop. In front of them was a giant field of ice bubbles. I need a volunteer. You come on up. You come on up. You come on up. 1, 2, 3. I need a few more volunteers. You come on up. You get on up here. And one more and one more. You come on up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Very good. All my friends, come on up. Grab a pair of safety goggles. Very good, very good. Everybody go ahead and grab onto your safety goggles. Perfect. Now, everybody, I would like you to form a line right behind my friend right over here. What is your name? Kayla. Kayla? Isn't her name? Oh, there's 2 Kaylas? I'm never going to be able to tell the difference. So, everybody, form a line behind Kayla, and I will need your help in just a little bit. So, of course, we need to do this experiment. Our safety goggles too, but safety gloves as well. We, of course, also need our dry. And what we will also need for this experiment is this beaker and this pan right underneath it. So, today we have been doing experiments where we just drop dry ice into different types of beakers and different levels of water. But this time, what if we dropped our dry ice into something that wasn't water, something a little bit more? And for this experiment, we are going to need some dish soap. Now, my friends in line, are we familiar with the game red light, green light? So when I say green light, you are going to go ahead and pour and squeeze some soap into our beaker. When I said red light, you are going to stop. Are we ready? 1, go to the back of the line so all of our friends could go. Kayla, you are up first. All right, are you ready? And red light. Light. Green light. And green light. Stop. Very good. Next line, come on over, come on over. All right, are you ready? Are you ready? And green light. And red light. Green light. Red light. Green light. Red light. Green light. Red light. Red light. Green 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 light. Stop. Oh, what are you doing? That's too much. What are you doing? Very good. You could go on up back to the line. All right, go ahead. And red light. Red light. Red light. What are you doing going on a red light? And green light. You're missing the bottle. All right, green light, red light, stop. All right, your driving privileges have been revoked. Go to the back of the line. All right, go ahead. And red light, red light, red light, red light, red light, red light. Ooh, a red light, another red light back here. Ooh, that's red over there. That's right, like green light, 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 green light. Stop. Very good. All right, go on over to the back of the line. And red light. Red light, red light, red light! What are you doing? Red light! You're driving. Oh, get out of here. Your driving privileges have been suspended. Talk to court about getting your license back. All right, you're the last one up. Are you ready? I'm going to make it hard for you. Go ahead. Hold on to our bottle. This is going to be the most difficult one yet. And green light. Okay, very slow, very slow. And red light. Green light. All right. And red light. We can tip it just a little bit more. Green light. And red light. Green light. Red light. Green light. Red light. Green light. Red light. Green light. Red light. Red light. Red light. Red light. What are we doing? Oh no. Oh no. It's stuck. Oh my goodness. There's so much sound. You're taking the bus from now on. All right. Oh, my friend, you could go over back to the end of the line. Now, everybody, keep the line forming behind Kayla. And everybody, take one step toward me. Take one step toward me. Go ahead and face our audience and give our audience a little bit of a wave. Go, hi, audience. Very good, very good. Now that we have our soapy water, we are now going to see what happens when we take some pieces of dry ice and dump them into our beaker full of now soapy water. Okay, we'll start with 1 piece, 2 pieces, 3, 4, 5. These pieces are way too small. Let's see what else there is. Whoa, what's everyone? Whoa! Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, this is probably the cleanest mess I have ever made. Oh my goodness, look at all the bubbles just like in the story. Do you guys know the best part about bubbles? The best part about bubbles is blowing bubbles. All right, I'm going to come around so everyone can see the bubbles, but remember, everyone's going to stay in their seat or spot. Ready, good. Are you guys ready for some bubbles? Here, do you want to see? You can see. Pretty cool, right? Ah, what are you doing? And here they come again. Here they come again. One more. And for my volunteers. My volunteers, you did such a good job. Everybody come on over, put your glasses back on the table, head back to your seat. Everybody give our volunteers a nice big round of applause. Go up and on over. Now, what are you doing? What are you doing? Get out of here. You're one of the ones taking the bus from now on. All right. All right, so Greta and Kai now need to make their way out of the giant field of ice bubbles. Every time they step, there would be a little pop. Everyone go pop. So they stepped on one. One more time. Everyone go pop. All right, it's a very, very quick sound, a very small sound. Everyone go like this. Go pop. Every time I step, make that pop sound. Oh my goodness, there's so many bubbles! So they finally made it through the giant field of bubbles and they made it back to their camp safely. And they lived happily ever after through the spooky forest. Now, that is the end of the story, but that is not the end of the show. I have time for one last experiment, but I need to know from you guys. Are you guys ready for the grand finale? So, for this experiment, I will not need a volunteer because it is such a big experiment that we're all going to be able to be part of it. But we need a few things first. The first thing I need is a pair of safety. And then I need a pair of safety. And then, of course, I need our dry. Now, for each experiment that we have done today, we have dropped dry ice into small beakers that slowly started to get bigger and bigger. For instance, the smallest that we dropped it in was our film canister. And then we got a little bit bigger with our beaker. We got our beaker with our mouthpiece right on it. And then we had, oh my goodness, it's still so messy. Then we had the giant soap monstrosity. And up to this point, the biggest thing that we have dropped our dry ice into was this beaker right here. However, this is the grand finale, which is why I am going to use this huge, gigantic bucket of water. Now, I am going to add even more water to this. Does everyone see these two big pitchers of water? Right into the bucket. Now, for this final experiment, for this grand finale, it is very, very important that everybody stay in their seats and everybody who is sitting stays inside the red line. Can we all do that? That is not just for my safety, but that is for yours and all of our friends around us, okay? Perfect. So, we have also been dropping them into smaller and smaller pieces just using our hands, and one time using this scooper. But this time, what we are going to use instead, we are going to use two giant scoopers. Are you guys ready? All right, I'm going to try to scoop 5 giant times, but I need you guys to start chanting, scoop, 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 scoop. Oh my goodness, look at how much there is. Whoa, 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 whoa. Do you guys want to see something cool? Watch this. Pretty cool, right? Do you guys want a closer look? I'm going to come around so I can show everybody, but everybody must stay in there. And everybody must stay behind the red line. Are you guys ready? All right, here I come. Pretty cool, right? Everybody stay in our seats. Let's stay in our seats. Everyone stay sitting down. Everybody sit down, sit down. All right, and for the very, very last time, what we are going to do. Are you guys ready to see a dry ice waterfall? All right, we're going to wait for some of our friends to get back to their seat. Are you guys ready? Everybody count down. 5, 4, 3, 2. Whoa. Pretty cool, right? Very, very cool. Guys, thank you so much. Nobody touch it. Nobody touch it. Now, guys, that is unfortunately the end of the story and the end of the show. But, oh, the balloon. I completely forgot about the balloon. Let us check back in with our what? Whoa. This is super, super cool. Everybody, the dry ice not only froze the balloon, but only froze half of our balloon because it is so big. Everybody see how squishy this part is? Now, look on the other side. Pretty cool, right? That is, no, we are not going to smash the balloon. But everybody, that is the last experiment, but I have one last question for you. Did you guys have fun today? Everybody, I would like to thank you for coming out tonight. You were such a good audience. Guys, thank you so much. That is the end of the show. You're free to go. I hope you guys have a great rest of your night and season. Thank you guys so much. No, you cannot touch the bubbles.